Let's get this situated. And we'll just get things ready to go. Welcome to TNT Live. In this episode of TNT Live, I invite you to Let's Chat. So in this live Q&A session, I'll answer questions, I'll provide some channel updates, and I will give you some news, some of my views, and I will do an unboxing. But before we get into the chat, if we're just meeting, I'm Denise Jordan, and I teach traditional homemaking skills for today's woman. So if you want to learn more about running a household, hit that subscribe button and double tap that little bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Okay, so let's chat. I see we have a few people on already. Stephanie from Creatively Miss Me is here. Hey, Stephanie, it's good to see you. Craft Today with Rita Renee is here. Hey, Rita. And Wendy, always busy. It is always good to see you. And then Mary Cleveland. Mary, it's been a minute, I think, since I've seen you. But hey, how are you doing? It's good to have all of you ladies on with me tonight. And you guys know, I don't usually send out a call to say, let's chat. Now, I do have some things to talk about. I do have a plan. If you remember my video that I did too about how to go live, and it said you do need to have a plan. So trust me, I have a plan. And I have a purpose, and it is good to see everyone. So yes, hello. So let's just talk about my purpose for today. So I'm not going to go over the 3 P's for doing a live stream, which was purpose, plan, and props. But I did have a purpose, and my purpose for tonight's live stream was to build community, to engage with all of you guys, because I haven't been able to just chat with you guys for a while. So now Mary said she's been dealing with some health issues, but now she's okay. And I tell you what, Mary, I get it. I've not been dealing with health issues myself, but I feel like half my family has been, and that's required something on my part. Take them to this appointment, take them to that appointment, go to this hospital. It's just been crazy. So you see, there have not been any videos posted on my channel this week because it has just been crazy. What if it's, like I said, if it's not one thing, it's another. So Mary, I do hope you're feeling better. And it's just been a struggle for so many of us. So, and I'm glad you joined us tonight. So you guys know, I'm always nosy. So what you sipping on? I've got some coffee tonight. Remember, you guys, this is Coffee with Denise. This is a new segment that I'm adding to my TNT channel. So Stephanie's got green tea. Stephanie, that's probably what I should be having, but I'm gonna be doing coffee, and I've got my Sunny Lenarducci mug, which is Be Your Own Boss. I thought this would be a good one for us to have tonight, because of course, don't we all want to be our own boss? But I've got some very light coffee. It's the Swiss Water Cafe coffee. We get it at Kroger. And this is what I like to doctor it up with. I like to use this International Delight Hershey's Chocolate Caramel or the Caramel Macchiato. Love that, love that, love that. So that's what I'm sipping on tonight. I've got some coffee here. And of course, it's decaf. Otherwise, I'd be awake for the next 2 weeks. I'd be having heart palpitations and all kind of jitters. So yeah. So Mary's been dealing with stomach issues for a year, and she's now trying to get that under control. Wendy's got lemonade, and Stephanie's got green tea. So, okay. Well, ladies, let me go ahead and let's just kind of jump into our chat. Let me just say too, or rather, let me ask you guys a question. So last week for our TNT Live, and I'm trying to go live for us ladies here every Thursday night at 7:45. That's my plan. I didn't think it was going to work out tonight because, like I said, I've just had so much going on. I thought I was going to end up in the hospital myself. I was dealing with so many other people's issues. So last week, though, I did our TNT Live as a premiere. because I wanted to do a cooking piece, and I've not quite figured out how to do a cooking piece live, because you know when you're live, you're limited to the space on your device. So I thought I wanted to show the cooking, so I will do it as a premiere, which counts as a live. For any of you guys that saw that, how did that work for you? Could you let me know how that worked for you if you happen to see it? Because I was able to chat in the chat box. And so I felt I was able to continue to engage, but I was able to engage actually a lot easier because I could just see your comments come up and I could just type the answers right in. So it worked for me. But for those of you that were on, did you feel cheated by me not, like you seen me and I'm talking to you in real time? And hey, Joan Brody just joined us tonight. So Stephanie said she hasn't seen it. Life has been a little crazy. Stephanie, I get it. I get it. Joan, it's so good to have you join me. This is one of my new segments on my channel. Mary said the concept sounds good. She's sorry she missed it. Well, what I did was I did the video and I cut back and forth between me and the cooking, but I did it as a video and put the cooking in as B-roll. And then I had it air as a premiere, and then I was able to just answer questions and talk to people in the chat section. I thought it worked out okay, but if you're wanting like this kind of interaction, it wasn't that. So I don't know. So I'm just wondering what people thought. Okay. So, all right. So, oh, I know what I forgot to bring over here. I tried a new food tonight, and it was called Couscous. Now, Joan says she hasn't tried the premiere feature yet. And you know, Joan, the premiere feature is quite nice because what it allows you to do is, let's say you create a video for however it is you plan to do your video, like maybe one of your thrifting videos, and then you upload it and you schedule it as maybe at 7:45, whatever time you normally do. But then you click premiere, so then it will premiere at whatever time you set it for on whatever day you set it for. And then here's the thing. I'm getting a sneeze all of a sudden. Whew. The sneeze may still come out, but we'll see. Hey, Cindy. So then while the people are watching the video and you're watching the video at the same time, you guys are both in the chat box and you can just kind of talk back and forth to them. They can ask questions and you can respond. So it's really kind of nice because you're right there watching it as they watch it, and then you can respond to them. So it's really quite nice. So now, Rita Renee said she loves couscous, and I meant to show it to you guys, but I forgot to bring it over here. I put everything else on the table that I wanted to show you, forgot to bring the couscous over here. But I made a new recipe in, I got a new cookbook, and there was a recipe in it that called for it to be served over a bed of couscous. And I tried it, and it was actually pretty good. Hey, V, good to have you with us. V, do you see I made you a moderator? You were one of the ones who told me that I need to have moderators when I'm on. And a couple of weeks ago, we had a troll on that was so disconcerting. So I did make you and several other people a moderator because I never know who's going to jump on. So just in case, you're a moderator in case I need some help. All right. So B, I'm asking people if you've tried couscous. If you've tried couscous before, tell me in the comment section below. Tell me if you've tried couscous. I had not. And what I learned, well, let me see if I can go over there and get it. You're not supposed to leave the screen, but I think I can angle it so you can kind of still see me. Let me go get it. So I'm getting the couscous. Getting the couscous, and I will be right back. Okay. So this was the couscous right here. And look at it. It's like a bunch of little granules. It's like a thick cream of wheat. You know, when you look at cream of wheat, you know how grainy cream of wheat is? Well, this is couscous. And you just take a cup of this. You take a cup of water, boil it, put in a little salt, you know, a little butter, and then you add a cup of this, stir it up, and then let it sit for about 5 minutes, and it turns out pretty nice. It's like it's almost like rice that's been ground up. So it's really quite nice. So if you've had couscous, tell me in the comment section below. Yes, it's like rice, and it's actually made by the Rice Select Company. So it is like rice, and I thought it was actually pretty good. I'll tell you guys about the recipe in just a little bit, but I tried it from this particular cookbook. This is one of the new cookbooks that I got. And the recipe was this one. The pork, carrot, and chickpea stew. Now, I wanted to use chicken instead of pork, but it turned out really, really well. And the couscous was so nice. Now, we'll see what the hubby thinks. We'll see what the hubby thinks. So, and I see right there in the chat box, Joan is talking about her new challenge, the thrift flip. She just posted that yesterday. So I do have it on the list to talk about on Sunday on my YouTube talk when I give the updates on the collabs and that kind of thing. But so yeah, be sure and check that out. You have to go to her channel and check that out. So, but now I'll tell you guys a little bit more about my cookbook in just a minute. So, and then Thrifty Tashi is on. Well, hey, Tashi, good to have you on with us. And, oh, Joan, teasing Rita about not being invited to the challenge. Sorry, guys, I'm getting snuffly all of a sudden. Cindy says, do I still buy cookbooks? She just goes online. Cindy, I must confess, I love cookbooks. And yes, this little cookbook cost me $9.99 plus tax. I like cookbooks. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But let's talk about cookbooks now since we're on cookbooks. So that's the one thing about when I'm live like this and we're just engaging, I can mix up the flow. So I'll just move over to the cookbooks. So I'm going live with a purpose. My purpose tonight is to engage. So yes, I do like cookbooks, and I love looking at the pictures. I mean, look at this. Look at that beef stew. You know I'm going to be making that. And then there's just a couple other things in here like this one, this Guinness beef stew, and you have to make it with like Guinness beer. Look at those mashed potatoes and carrots and that beef. You know I'm making that. Not to mention, for a one-pot meal and Creatively Miss Me with Stephanie's got that one-pot meal coming along, I had to try and figure out what was I going to make. So yeah, there's all kind of real cool things in there. So yeah, so this was one of my new cookbooks that I got, and I picked it up at, this one I picked it up in the checkout line at Kroger. You know how that goes. You're standing there and you're waiting, and then you just kind of browse. Well, this one caught my eye. Now, this is the second cookbook I bought in a month. So Michelle said she got rid of all of her cookbooks because she barely used them. You know, Michelle, I enjoy looking at the pictures. I love reading them. I'll sit and look through a cookbook just like I will a regular book. So this one is a Woman's Day Slow Cooker Classics. And if you're thinking about, you know, that one pot challenge for Stephanie, you know, this one, there's lots of good ones in there. Here's one, beef and sausage meatballs and just all kind of good stuff. So, smoky black bean soup. So this is a good one. So I got this one. And then look at this other one that I just got. Hang on, Tashi, I'll tell you in just a second. I also got this one about a week ago. Sunday Suppers. Now, I have to tell you guys, this cookbook, $12.95, Cindy. Yes, I spent $12.95 on this cookbook. And it's got old world classics, lazy dinners, and then dinners around the world. Hey, Leroy, I didn't know you were here. So one of the first things that I saw, I love this, chicken marsala. Whenever I go to Olive Garden, I always order chicken marsala. So I love that. So Joan says she just got a pressure cooker. Well then, Joan, I've got a pressure cooker recipe. Let me grab it. It's right here. Guys, I know I'm breaking protocol, but it's right behind me. Let me grab it. There. Sorry. Instant Pot Cookbook. Now, Mickey gave me this cookbook. When she gave me my Instant Pot for my birthday, she also gave me this cookbook, and I've made a couple things in it already. As a matter of fact, that Chinese chili, that Chinese spare ribs that I made was from this cookbook, and it's got some great pictures, and it gives you good ideas on how to use your Instant Pot. So there's that. But this recipe that I made the other day out of this Sunday suppers, there was, let me find it, because I tell you what, it turned out so good, it makes you want to smack your mama. Where is it? It was their roasted chicken and root vegetables. Let me find it, but oh my goodness. And you know, the recipe was so easy to do. Someone said, do you like your Instant Pot? I love my Instant Pot. I've just really started using it, and I absolutely love it. One of the things I have to get used to is that the texture for some of the meats are just a little bit different. But here it is. Roast chicken with root vegetables. Oh my goodness, is it good? And you know it. I had not roasted a chicken in this way before, and oh, it was so delicious. Now, Cindy was asking, is the Instant Pot kind of like a crock pot? No, an Instant Pot is kind of like a pressure cooker, but it's not your mama's pressure cooker. It is so much easier to use, and it's nowhere near as dangerous. It's very nice. And now Tashi was asking about the one pot challenge, and Stephanie at Creatively Miss Me with Stephanie, and I think it's Wani at Wani's house is having a one pot challenge. And I think the due date for that is February 6th. So if you take a look at Stephanie's channel, Tasha, you'll see it. Or if you look at my YouTube talk with Denise Jordan that I did on Sunday, I did put the list of collabs in there, and it's on there. But it's February 6th, and you just cook it in one pot. So that's what it is. So now Michelle has a Kasori Instant Pot, and she only uses it to cook pot roast. I've not done a pot roast in mine, but I tell you what, after looking at these, I'm going to be doing a pot roast in mine because they have some of the best recipes. So, hey, Maria, Artsy Cupcake, how you doing? It's good to have you here. Tashi, I can't believe you just met Stephanie. I would have thought you had met her long ago. All right, so now, who likes cookbooks? I love cookbooks. So who likes cookbooks like I do? So Michelle said she threw all hers out, and Cindy's like, you still buy cookbooks? Like, yeah, but who else? Somebody else out there has got to like cookbooks. Who else likes? So Tashi said she likes cookbooks. Stephanie likes cookbooks. Rita likes cookbooks. See, Cindy, I'm not an oddity. Lots of people like cookbooks. I just love the pictures of them. And yeah, you can get some good ones at thrift stores. And right now, Instant Pots are really kind of down in price because lots of people got them for Christmas. So now they're down in price. So yeah. Oh, so now let me show you guys this cookbook. Look at this. Joan said you never use a cookbook because you're going to get a few. Oh, yeah. Look at this cookbook, though. And I tell you what, I've got, yes, Maria, we are hanging out tonight. Look how old this cookbook is. This cookbook used to be my grandma's. And I mean, literally, it's coming apart. I got to get the back of it. I think it's in the drawer somewhere. And I'm going to get my husband to tape it all up together. But the, I don't even see it was 1917. This cookbook was made in 1917. And it is so cute. It is called, get this, A Thousand Ways to Please a Husband with Bettina's Best Recipes. And so this cookbook is about a young lady named Bettina. She just got married, and then her and her husband Bob come back from their honeymoon. And then she cooks him a meal when they first get back. And then all throughout the book, in each chapter, Bettina's doing something different. Maybe she's having, her girlfriends over for lunch. And then she talks about that. Then you see what she's cooking. And then just other things. So I'll have to share some of this at one time, but let me read you the dedication because it is just so funny. A dedication to every other little bride who has a bob to please and says she's tried and tried and tried to cook with skill and ease and can't. We offer here as a guide Bettina's recipes. To her whose bob is prone to wear a sad and hungry look, because the maid he thought so fair is, well, she just can't cook. To her we say, do not despair. Just try Bettina's book. And then you can see some of the really old pictures that are in it. It is just so cute. So if you guys would like, or if you don't mind, I can talk a little bit about it and some of the recipes that are in it at some point in time. But I just thought it was cute. And look at it. I've got little bits and pieces that fell down here off of the book because it's falling apart. I've got another one that was my grandmother's that was even older than that one, but we won't talk about that one tonight. All right, so let me ask you guys this. Let's talk a little bit about the news. You guys know Home in Season. Hey, Home in Season, welcome. Hey, ladies, we've got somebody new on tonight. Home in Season is new with us. Home in Season, tell us your name and welcome to our chat tonight. We are glad to have you with us. You just missed out on a few good topics. We've already talked a little bit about cookbooks, and I showed some new cookbooks that I had. And then we talked about a new food called couscous that I've tried. So, yeah. So Tashi's revamped her channel and catching up with those. Subscribe to her now. And Amy, is that Home in, let's see, Home in Season? It's Amy. Okay, Amy. Yes, I missed that. So good to see you, Amy. And then Miss Congeniality joined us as well. And I forgot your name, Miss Congeniality. You'll have to remind me. But Home in Season is Amy. And Miss Congeniality, tell me your name again. Oh, and hey, Amy from Stephen's Party of Two. How are you doing? Well, when they said it's Amy, I thought that it's Amy was from the Home in Season. Oh, Home in Season is Amy from Stephen's Party of Two. Did you change your name? Amy, did you guys change your channel name? Well, Amy from Stephen's Party of Two is one of our sisters in the circle. She's not a new person. Okay, so Amy, let me tell you this. I met a young lady. Well, I came across her channel on YouTube. And hey, Joan, good to have you with us. We are just chatting and hanging out tonight. I do have a purpose and a plan, but Amy, I met a young lady. She is as cute as a button. Her name is Ebony Butterfly. And I tell you what, like I said, she is as cute as a button and she is a Ray Dunn fanatic. I told her, I said, you got to connect with my friend Amy at Stephen's Party of Two. So if she looked for you, she might not have, well, I don't know if she looked for you or not, because I just met her this week and said, you got to meet Amy. But you should go and look for her too. Her name is Ebony Butterfly, Ebonie, Ebony Butterfly, and she's adorable. And she's a young mom. I don't know about her children yet because she hasn't talked about them. All she's doing is talking about her Ray Dunn, Ray Dunn, Ray Dunn, Ray Dunn. And she's just bubbling all over the place. And I'm like, okay, you need to meet Amy. But there's that. So anyway, so I shared all that. So now let me ask you guys this. Who's had a flu shot? Now, you guys know me. You guys know I'm a nurse by profession, and it's flu season. So who's had a flu shot? Raise your hand. So Tasha says, not me. Mary Cleveland says, nope. Who's had a flu shot? Who else? Somebody has had a flu shot, hopefully. And if you haven't had a flu shot, why not? So Joan says no. Tashi says no. Mary says no. Joan says no. Tashi says she's never will. And Joan Shooty says she has. Rita says yes. Michelle says she never had the flu shot, never had the flu, never had the flu shot. Cindy says no. Okay, so ladies, tell me this. Why don't you get the flu shot? What's your thing against the flu shot? Tell me that. So why don't you get flu shots? Tashi and Mary and Stephanie, why don't you get the flu shot? Okay, so Michelle says she's got an autoimmune disease and she don't think it's a good miss. And some people, if you've got certain things, they tell you not to get a flu shot. Stephanie says she doesn't want the flu. Well, remember, you cannot get the flu shot from the flu. And Joan says she got it once. It was the only time she ever had the flu. You cannot get the flu from the flu shot. It is impossible. And this is why. It's a killed vaccine. There's nothing in it that can cause the flu. Now, you might have some irritation or pain at the site. You might already be harboring the flu bug in your body. So when you get the shot, then it just comes on out. It just happened to be that way. But you can't get the flu from the flu shot. However, let's talk about how to protect yourself against the flu. Oh, and I got 17 people on. If I could get 17 thumbs up, that would be good. So Mary says the flu shot's a shot in the dark. Well, they don't know exactly which flu strand is going to go around. Well, somewhat, sort of, but not exactly. They tend to anticipate what flu is going to be prominent in the upcoming season. And they will create a vaccine that has several different strands of proteins against that particular flu, against the different strains of viruses, so that they're trying to predict. But you're right, it is a prediction, it is a gamble, and they don't always get it right. However, if you do get the flu shot and you do get the flu from the virus, because you didn't get it from the shot, it modifies the disease process so you don't get it as bad. So Joan says you got the flu 2 weeks after you got the shot. That just means that you didn't get the flu shot in time enough to be protected from the flu. Because you get the flu in October because flu season's coming in January. You need a 6 to 8 week lead time for your body to build up those antibodies. That's why you get the flu shot early. So that just means that you didn't get it in time. That's all. But okay, one thing I've learned as a healthcare professional is that sometimes you can't change someone's mind about the different things that they do. But yes, Joan, you've got to have a 6 to 8 week lead time for a vaccine because it builds the antibodies up in your own body. So that's what it does. But let's talk about who's most affected from the flu. You're very young, and then you're old people. Those are the ones that are hardest hit by the flu. So, and you're very young, have an immune system that's not fully developed, not working very good just yet. And then your old people have an immune system that is starting to break down. It's starting like an old car, parts starting to break down. Well, their immune system is starting to break down. And then if you've got if you're immunocompromised, I would think, Michelle, that's even more reason to get the flu shot so that you don't end up with the flu. But let's talk about ways to protect yourself from the flu. So the vaccine, of course, is number one on the list. So we'll mark that off. Y'all not getting the vaccine. So what can you do next to protect yourself? Hand washing, hand washing, hand washing. That is your biggest defense against the flu is hand washing. The next thing you want to do is make sure you're covering your cough. Like, oh, you cough into your elbow. When we would go to preschools and we would teach the kids about hand washing and flu prevention and that kind of thing, one of the kids had some kind of a game called you do the elephant, like you go like that, and they were showing them how to do that. But yes, you hand washing. So some natural ways to avoid the flu, first of all, is going to be hand washing. That's your biggest line of defense. And not only washing your hands, but make sure you're washing your little people's hands as well. When they come in from being outside or from being to school or wherever they've been, have them wash their hands. Have them cover their cough. And at this time, keep your kids away from the hospital. If you've got a parent, a relative, a family member in the hospital, don't take your children up there to visit. Leave the kids at home. And right now, flu is pretty bad here in the city that I live in. And so they've got a new policy where if you're under 18, you can't even come in to visit. And only 2 people are allowed in to visit. Now, as far as natural ways to avoid the flu, I suppose those vitamins that help to boost the immune system, things that boost your immune system are something you can do, certainly vitamin C, orange juice, those kinds of things. I'm not sure about foods in general, but when you're trying to protect yourself against the flu, certainly juices and things like that. And you can buy some over-the-counter immune boosters. There's that thing. But that being said, hand washing. When you go to the grocery store and you're pushing that cart, get those Santa wipes that they've got and wipe off the cart before you touch it. Tashi said she works at an elementary school. Well, kids are just little germ factories, so you're going to be bringing home everything to you and your family. Yes, Zicam works pretty good, so you can try something like that. Again, that's over the counter. But hand washing, covering your cough, keeping your children away from sick people, and then, guys, no kissing anybody other than your hubby or your partner. But this is not a time to be kissing, letting people come in and kiss your children, particularly on the mouth or even on the face, because again, they're touching their face and they're touching their mouth or whatever. So you can just say to your relatives, you know what, right now, because it's flu season, we're encouraging no kissing, because again, that's a big way to pass germs. So, and if you can avoid it, no handshaking. And you can just say, you know what, I'm not being rude, but because of the flu and all that kind of thing, I'm just being overly cautious. I'm really not shaking hands right now. So some people are doing like the little fist bump or whatever, but try not to shake hands if you can avoid it. And Michelle, that's fine. I'm not trying to do like shot shaming on anybody or anything like that. We're not going to do that. What I'm trying to do now, because I knew there was a lot of people that don't do flu shots, and I've got several in my own family that they just don't do it. Then I wanted to talk about, what can you do to help prevent that? You should not kiss babies in the face. And she is so right. You should not kiss babies in the face. And then make sure that you're not touching your mouth and your eyes. Because if you've been out somewhere, let's say you've been to work, you've been to the store, whatever, your hand touches a surface and then you go like this, now that's on your face. Or if you scratch your eye, now you've put those germs on your face. So just make sure that you are doing your due diligence by washing your hands properly and making sure your children are washing their hands properly. If you have a home daycare and you have children that are coming in there, make sure that you're keeping their noses wiped, their hands washed, and then wash the toys when everybody goes home so that when they come in the morning, the toys are nice and clean. It's just one way to help protect them. And like somebody said, I think it was Cindy, if you're sick, stay home. If your kids are sick, keep them home. Because the flu is no joke. The flu kills people. The flu is no joke. Michelle says she stopped kissing her grandnieces and nephews a couple of years ago because every time she ended up with something. So now she just does hugs. Yeah, kids are just little germ factories. Especially if you're around the school, you catch everything. So there's that. So again, washing toys, hand washing. Are there other thoughts on how to protect yourself from the flu? We talked about Zicam to help support your immune response, things with vitamin C. There's over-the-counter things that you can get. So if you're choosing not to do the vaccine, then just do your due diligence and figure out what are other things that you can do. Okay, so let's see. What what challenge of Stephanie's are you talking about? Because her one pot challenge is definitely on the list. And because that's February 6th. Yeah, it's definitely on the list because that one was February 6th. Did I bring that list down here? Let's see. So you guys got me all off the subject. Oh, I see. Oh, it was about your cupcake challenge. Okay, gotcha. I was like, I know I put that on there. All right, I'll stay out of you guys' business. All right. Okay, so now let me give you guys a channel update. As you guys know, I'm really trying to niche down. So Joan says she takes a lot of probiotics and prebiotics every day, and she's only had the flu once. And that is really, really helpful that you do that. I mean, those are really help to keep you healthy. So that's a good thing. Okay, now we're going to move off the flu. I'm going to tell you guys about my new challenge. And you know, as I niche down, one of the things I'm really focusing on is the kitchen this year, particularly for January. My Moonlight Clean with Me focused on cleaning in the kitchen. Of course, the kitchen vignettes always in the kitchen. But as I look at trying to create a joyful kitchen, and that's what I want for my home and for all of you, a joyful kitchen, because we spend so much time in here. It should be joyful. So I will be doing a little more cleaning here in my kitchen. I will continue the meal planning series, and that series was prompted by Leah at Woman and Woman Homestead. She was asking about meal planning, and I promised her a long time ago that I would do it, and I finally got that started. So the Evie 202 is here. And she said she swears by the flu shot. Teachers see lots of kids coming down with the flu. Yeah, I do too. I get my flu shot every year, and I'm usually fine with that. But okay, so now we're going to talk about focusing on the kitchen. And so I'll continue the meal planning series. And if you missed that, I'll link it below because we really had some good conversation that day. And then the video that I did, the premiere live week on the chicken and noodles, that was part of that meal planning because when I did the inventory, I showed how, you know, like some of the things that was in my freezer, and I made that meal based upon what was in the freezer. Hey, Karen, how are you? So the next two videos, though, that I want to do in the meal planning series will probably be videos and not live like this because there's a couple things that I want to do on the meal planning that I can't do live. I wanted to be able to show you guys things because I don't know how to share screens yet. So once I figure that out, but in the meantime, I'll just do them as videos and as a premiere, and then we can chat live that way. So will that work for you guys okay? Let me know about that. I hope you don't feel cheated when I do it that way because that's the only way that I can show you some things is to do a video and then make it a premiere. So I'll do that in a few weeks coming up. And then you don't have any problems about buffering. Okay, so everybody's saying that's going to work. But now, here's my new challenge. Well, Tashi, before you go, I want you to hear my new challenge. So my new challenge for all of you, and you don't have to be a creator to participate in this challenge. It is called February Challenge. So my new challenge is the February Challenge. You're thinking of what? February, like the February pantry. So I was thinking the February pantry or February. Or should I just say February pantry? Because February is kind of odd. What do you think? See, Maria's like, February, what exactly? I'm having trouble saying it myself, but the February Pantry Challenge, that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to be the February Pantry Challenge. And this is what it is. So my question to you, and you guys give me an answer, let me know, would you like to cut your grocery bill significantly? Who wants to save some money? Who wants to cut their grocery bill? February Pantry Challenge, okay. So we're getting several people saying yes, yes, yes. February Pantry, she'll remember that. Exactly. So I thought I was trying to do a January Pantry Challenge with Lisa at Sutton's Days, and I messed it up. But I thought, okay, so I'm going to do a February Pantry Challenge, and I'm inviting all of you to join me. So this is your opportunity to cut your grocery bill in half for February. And how will you do that? Well, we're going to eat from our pantry, from our fridge, and from our freezer. So Mary says that she's tried and she's just building her pantry back up. Well, I'm going to try to eat from my fridge, my pantry, and my freezer for the month of February. Now, you can allow yourself a certain amount of money for spending, and you get to decide how much it is you need to spend so that you can buy perishables. So I thought, okay, so I'm going to try to just allow myself $25 because I've got a freezer, 2 freezers full of food, plus my fridge and my pantry. So the only thing that I really need to buy weekly would be perishables, milk, bread, eggs, cheese, those kinds of things. And of course, if you run out of like toilet tissue or cleaning products, but I got enough cleaning products for the free world, as you guys already saw. So I thought that's what I would do for February and invite you guys to join me in that. So you get to decide how much you need to spend on perishables and any like household cleaning supplies or whatever. But the caveat is you've got to save your receipts. So like this is my little notebook right now that I'm using for our meal planning stuff. And I put a little pocket folder in the back of it. Like this. So every time I go to the store or send the hubby to the store, I'm going to put the receipt in here. And what I realize is that every time I go to the store and I only need 4 things, I come home with at least 12 things. So you end up spending a lot more than you normally would have or that you would have needed to because, of course, while you're there, you see this, you see that, you get tempted by this or that. So I'm going to try and stay out of the store. Michelle, when you say you don't think you could cut your grocery bill in half. So Tashi says, cool idea. We prepare meals using only the items for our pantry. And then you can show a grocery haul within our budget. Sure. Now, you can do what you want to do as far as participating in the challenge. You can do weekly videos where you show a grocery haul and then how you made your meal plan based on that. And if you want the meal planning worksheet that I put together, I'd be willing to send that out to you. And like here's some of the, maybe you decide, well, you're going to do an inventory of your fridge, your freezer, and your pantry. And remember, I created those worksheets for your freezer, your fridge, and your pantry. So I have those. And then I have a shopping list. And then I have the meal planner. So if you want those, just send me an email and I'll send those out to you. But, you can decide how much work you want to do and how much you want to share. You can share videos, like, for example, for Stephanie's One Pot Challenge. Maybe you decide you're going to make something from your pantry, your fridge, and your freezer from the things that you have in your home for the One Pot Challenge. And that could be, one of the meals, and you could talk about how you did that or whatever. Or you don't have to make any videos. Maybe you might just want to, on our live stream at the end of February, and it'll be another chat session like this at the end of February, we'll talk about how well we did or how well we didn't. or what challenges or struggles we had or whatever. But at least we'll know exactly how much we spent on our grocery items that month, because you're going to keep your receipts in your little notebook. So who would like to try this with me? If you're in, type I'm in the comment section. If you're in, type me I'm in. I thought what I would do, you can do a video if you like. I thought what I would do is I'm going to give myself a grocery budget for February, and I'm going to take the money out and put it in an envelope. And the money's going to be in the envelope, and when that envelope is empty, I can't spend any more. But if I don't spend it all, then I got some I can roll over to March. So that's what I'm going to try to do, because I spend a lot of money for two people. It's crazy. I got an email from a lady today, and she was wanting the meal planning worksheet. She said it's just her and her daughter, and she spends about $200 a month for the two of them. And I thought, oh, I know I spend a lot more than that. I can spend $200 on one day going grocery shopping. So yeah, so I've got to save money. I'm like, it doesn't make sense for me to spend as much as I do. And then why would I spend so much? I've got 2 freezers full of food. And then no, the one pot challenge is February 6th, Karen. So you haven't missed it. Oh, I'm so glad you ladies are going to join me in the. Tashi says she spends about $400 a month. Between $300 and $400 is about right for a family of 2. And then you've got a young husband too, Tashi. So he's going to have a pretty hearty appetite as well. So that makes a difference. So let's see what we can do. And whatever it is that you normally spend, let's just see if you can cut it in half. Michelle, maybe you can't cut it in half, but maybe you can cut it by 1/3. So whatever you do is what you do. And it's not that we're going to make a judgment on what you buy. I remember once last year, Mickey and I did a video on grocery essentials, like what do you really need to buy? And what's essential in everyone's house is different. Okay, so Mary says she's hard to find foods that she can eat. Tashi just says she doesn't know how much she spends. Okay, that's a good go-to. And you know what? I don't either. Now, what you can do, maybe, to find out what you spent for January is you can go back through your bank record if you use your debit card and see, well, what did you spend in January? And that'll give you a jumping off point. But if nothing else, we're going to keep track of everything we spend in February. Okay. So, Michelle, if you want to try to cut it by 1/3, still, let's say you spend $300 a month on groceries for you and the hubby. I know your son's only home intermittently since he's away at school. So if you can go from 300 to 200, hey, bam, wouldn't you like that? You can put that $100 aside so that when the son is home, you got that extra money to spend. Because boys, especially teenage boys or young adult boys, eat a lot. I remember well that. So I think that should be fun. So again, if you want to, oh, the due date. Oh, that's a good question. Well, so today is Thursday the 30th. So this is for the month of February. So if you like, why don't we look at, if you want to do weekly updates in February, you can. But let's say the updates on February will always be on Wednesday. Does Wednesday update sound good if you guys wanted to do weekly updates? So if you wanted to post a video about the February Pantry Challenge, you would post them on Wednesday. And then the ending date, though, is February 28th, because I think it's not a leap year, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. Well, I guess it is. It's a leap year. We got 29 days in February this year, and Saturday is the last day. What? Joan said she found 7 rotisserie chickens at Walmart for $1 a piece. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, Amy, I get it. But contact Ebony, because I think you'll enjoy that. So, okay, so there's my new pantry challenge. So let me write myself a note. So we will post any video you want to post, you'll post on Wednesday. So I'll figure out what those dates are, and then I'll put out an invite video. I hadn't planned to do that like that, but I guess it makes sense to do that. And it's just fun. Miss V got hams at Walmart for $1. Wow. You guys found some great bargains. I never find those kind of bargains. Well, I take that back. I have a friend who has a food ministry, and her husband goes to Kroger, and on Fridays he will like come by the shop, and he'll have his car full of things that he picked up from Kroger's, like the rotisserie chickens that like today is the last day they can sell them. And then I get some of those things like that for free sometimes, so I'll put those in the freezer. So yeah, those are good bargains. So cannot complain about that. So if you decide to do one, the hashtag is going to be February Pantry Challenge. How's that? You know what, Tashi, let me tell you something I just discovered about Walmart. And I told my husband, I always buy the Uncle Ben's rice at Kroger, the kind that you put in the microwave and in 90 seconds or 2 minutes it cooks. It's just in a little packet and it's pre-cooked. And he likes that kind of rice. He does not want to cook regular rice where it takes him 20 minutes to cook like regular long grain rice. So I always get him that, and we'll have it for dinner quite a bit. Well, I was at Walmart yesterday. Walmart has the exact same rice, and it's $1.98, but it's like $2.19 or $2.29 at Kroger. Now, granted, that's only about 30 cents difference, but if I'm buying 10 packs, and I usually will buy 10 packs at a time, that's $3 that I could have saved. So I'm like, and I'm not one to go to 2 or 3 different stores to try to save money, but I thought, I didn't think about that. So yes. Okay, so there's that. So I just think that'll be fun. Just something fun for us just to kind of see if we can save money. And if you don't want to participate in the challenge, and Amy, I know you don't like this kind of thing, but you could certainly consider trying to reduce your grocery bill. And then when we jump on live at the end of the month on February, well, it'll be on that Thursday that we do it. Just let us know how well things went. But, okay. And then National Wear Red Day, ladies, is Friday, February 7th. So National Wear Red Day, which is to raise awareness for women's heart health. It's Go Red for Women's Heart Health, and that is on February 7th. So wear red everywhere, to work, around your house, to the beauty shop, to the grocery store, wear red. And then if you've got one of the little red dress pins, wear that as well. And you could even write to the American Heart Association in your area and ask them to send you some of the red dress pins, and you can pass them out to the ladies that you have in your circle and ask them to wear it, have the men wear them. So yes, that would be a fun thing to do, and it certainly raises awareness, and probably the different news channels and places in your city will be doing some things too. So there's that. And then there are several creators on our sister circle who are hosting a challenge, and I don't remember the date, to raise awareness. I'm thinking February 28th, but that's probably the wrong date. Where are those notes? I'm not sure what date that is, but it's on the list. It's on the list on, the YouTube talk show. It's underneath there. The date's in there. So there's that. Okay. So you guys have anything else pressing you want to talk about? Yeah, Joan, that is a good idea. Heck, to debone that chicken. I think we hit all the topics that I wanted. I did have, I talked about that. Yeah, I think I hit all the topics that I wanted to. I did also have a news article that I found about stain removers, and I thought that was so interesting because you know how I'm always interested in laundry stuff. And this particular one was about the best laundry stain remover, and it was OxyClean, the OxyClean spray. It was an article that was posted by Consumer Reports, and they tested like 14 different swatches on different things like coffee, chocolate ice cream, grass, blood, gravy, cherry juice, lipstick, baby food, used your motor oil, and mustard. So 14 different like little swatches of fabric for OxyClean Max 4 spray, for Paracel laundry detergent, and you guys know I love Paracel. And oh shoot, what was the other one? Uh, Paracel, OxyClean, and what was the other one? Oh, Tide. Yeah, Tide. I'm drawing a blank there for a second. Oh no, Shout. It was Shout. OxyClean, Shout, and Spray and Wash. And what they found was that the OxyClean was the best. So are you surprised by that? And then they did another test where they used laundry detergent, and that's where the Paracel came in. And they found that the Paracel performed as well as some of the stain fighters. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But the Tide Plus Ultra Stain Release and the Paracel Pro Clean, which you guys know I have that. My Paracel Pro Clean, I love that. It worked equally as well as the OxyClean. And you guys know I like that too. I like to use this on the collar. Yeah, I like OxyClean too, but I like Paracel. I'm thinking quite a bit, but I'm working on a video now with white shirts, and when I do that, I've got some OxyClean White Revive, and I'll put that in the collar, scrub it, and then put the Paracel in and wash the shirt. All right, so what other questions do you guys have? You have something called Grandma Spray. What is it? Public does great buy one, get one free deals. We don't have a Publix here, but when my daughter lived in Kentucky and in Georgia, they always had a Publix there. Well, what topic related to making and keeping a home, cooking, cleaning, or laundry would you guys like for me to address in an upcoming show? Stain lifter. So that's the name of it, just a generic stain lifter. Okay. You guys have any thoughts on what topics you would like for me to address? Well, Amy, I suggest you try the OxyClean. It works really well. And then, according to Consumer Reports, it works pretty darn good. And then the Paracel and the Tide liquid. These work as good as the stain removers. You pour it on and you have to give it a scrub, pre-treat it and give it a scrub. So, Evie, you says address laundry. Address laundry how, Evie? I got a video I'm working on now about, my husband's white shirts. I'm always washing them, so I figured I might as well make a video about them. But what kind of laundry videos? Oh, Miss Congeniality, you said you enjoyed the sink video. Well, thank you. I enjoyed doing that as well. And I like the way my sink looks when it's done. Oh, grease and food stains. Okay, and you know what, Evie? Funny thing, I'm working on one about grease right now. One of my viewers asked how to get coconut oil stains out of her face cloth. She uses it to take her makeup off. And so I've got one that I'm actually working on that's in the hopper right now. So that'll be coming out pretty soon. So grease and food stains. Grease and food stains. And actually, I do have a video on. Now, if you're talking about a grease stain, I've got one on grease odors. That's a little bit different. So, Mary, how to getting stains out of white t-shirts. Okay, I'll do one. White t-shirts. Stains on white t-shirts. Okay, I'll do that. I usually talk about my husband's white dress shirts, but I suppose I should do t-shirts because it's a different kind of fabric. So it's going to take a stain a little bit differently. And I find that what I used to do when people would ask me those questions, I would just type the answer back. And I realized that what I need to do is make a video. Cleaning white bedding. Well, you know what? I don't have any white bedding. I don't have a white pillowcase in my house. And I only just started getting white towels in my house the past 3 years. I wouldn't have anything white in my house. I'm a nurse. All day long at work, I would see white sheets, white towels, white pillowcases, white, 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 white. I wore white uniforms. I didn't want any kind of white linens in my house. But now I use white linens in the kitchen, dish towels and bath towels. So Stephanie said she uses OxyClean on her whites. I got some OxyClean White Revive. Oh, yeah. Oh, well water and white doesn't do well with that. How to turn your white socks white again. I don't know about that. We'll see. Because I did do some baby socks and they did work out. White socks white. That's funny. I'll do that. How to keep towels and washcloths white. Okay, and Joe is what? Oh. Now Stephanie says soak them in OxyClean and wash them. Yeah, you're going to have to soak those. You got to pre-treat them. When you're dealing with like for example, if you've got a stain on your white t-shirt, you got to treat it right away. Whatever it is, you can either take some, wet it a little bit, put your OxyClean on it right away, or, wet it with cold water and then put your Parasil on it. Put your Parasil on it, just kind of pour it directly on the stain. Give it a little scrub and then let it sit for about 20 minutes to overnight and then wash it. Hey, Viology, how are you? Got a question for you too, Viology. But yes, but I do have a video on how to get stains out. So I will try to remember to link that one. I do have a video on that, so I'll link that below. And V, I got an email from someone wanting to know the details on your challenge, and there's no video up yet. They wanted to know if you had a hashtag and a few other things, and I said, I don't have any info. And I went to you and Kim's channel and couldn't find anything. So can you help us out here? Oh, is bluing still available? Was it to help keep whites white? Then you said your video's been up for 3 weeks. I looked at your channel today and I couldn't find it. And Stephanie looked at your channel today. So what is the name of the video? Because I looked and I couldn't find it. I looked today after I got the email and I couldn't find it. Now, bluing. They use bluing in little old lady's hair to get it white. And to make it less yellow when it's gray. Oh, not sweets for the sweetie V, not that one. It was your dinner for two. That's the video that I was asked about, your dinner for two. And I don't remember the date offhand because my notes are over here somewhere. But it's your dinner for two, V. That's the one that I was asked about. So your dinner for two drops on Saturday, which is February 1st. Is that correct? Let's see. Okay, so February 1st is your sweets for your sweetie. And then February 8th is the other one. But so that was the question. It was about the dinner for two. And I'm not seeing those notes right now. So the dinner for two upload date is February 8th. Do you have a hashtag and all that kind of stuff? Is your video out for that one though, V? That was the question. Because I couldn't find the one for that one. So is that a yes or what? So your video comes out this Saturday, which is February 1st. So you're only giving people 1 week to put that dinner together. So that may affect how many people participate because, they got to make the dinner. So they got to buy the food, make the plan and all of that. So just, an FYI for you guys, when you are creating a collaboration or a challenge where people have to actually prepare food, you might want to try to give them a little bit, okay. Well, I get that because I tell you what, she said she was down with the flu. I won't ask her if she got her flu shot. Okay. All right. So, but right now people are giving me ideas for laundry videos. And so if I got any young ladies on here or young home keepers, what are some things that you need to learn how to do for your home? What are some basic things you need to learn how to cook? Oh, yeah, B. I got some family members with lupus, so yeah, I get it. Well, all right. So you ladies that are out there, what are some things that you need to learn how to do? How to cook, rather. Like one of my young ladies said that she didn't know how to boil an egg, which sounds elementary, but she said the doggone thing was real runny, so she ended up having to put it in water, having it like a poached egg, because she said she wasn't going to eat it the way it was. So Amy, you say too much to list. Just give me a few so I can have some ideas of what are some things that I can make for you. So I'm definitely going to do how to boil an egg for my little friend. But what are some things that you guys need to learn? Basic skills in the kitchen that you guys need to learn how to do, or basic skills. I got some basic skills with laundry. You guys gave me some of those, but what are some basic skills in the kitchen that you need help with? Can't cook rice where it's not sticky. Ooh, that's a hard one. I'll try it. You might just want to buy a rice cooker, but I will try how to cook rice. Speaking of that, Maya Angelou, I think she was from North Carolina or somewhere in the South. And one of the things she said that the older ladies would be, I don't care what your accomplishments were. They would say, yeah, but can she cook rice? Say, so-and-so's daughter just graduated from college. And they said, oh, good. But can she cook rice? So okay, so she got some knowledge, but can she do these basic skills? So I thought that would be fun. Coconut pie. That sounds good. So V said rice has a trick that she uses. I don't have any trouble with mine. When I'm making the long grain rice, I put it in and the rice, water, the butter, the salt, and put it in for the amount of time it says. And 20 minutes later, stir it up and you got rice. But I'll work on that. And I do have a rice cooker, which I've yet to take out of the box, other than for the unboxing. You suppose I could use that? Well, Michelle, you said you heard that you should rinse your rice first, but people don't rinse the rice anymore. I learned to rinse the rice when I was a girl, but then as I became an adult, they said, nope, don't rinse the rice because that gets rid of the vitamins that's in it. But when you cook it in an Instant Pot or a rice cooker, I think it says to rinse your rice. So I will talk about how to cook rice and I will address that in there. I'll do some research. And we'll see what the real deal is. So I'll do some research on that. Yeah, when you rinse the rice, you're washing off all the good stuff. All right, so is there anything else you guys want to chat about in particular? Otherwise, I think we've covered the list of topics that I had, and I don't want to keep you guys on just to have you on for nothing. Brown rice, I use a lot of brown rice too, and it doesn't tend to stick very well, very much, I should say. You guys don't forget Michelle's got her craft room challenge going on where she's asking if you're cleaning in your craft room or something like that. You might want to consider showing that activity. And okay, V, good, good. V's going to upload her collab video tomorrow. So, well, all right then. I think we're out of questions, and I don't want to just be on here and wasting you guys' time. So if there's something specifically you guys want to ask me, we can talk about that. Otherwise, it's time to wrap it up. Oh, recipes without onions, dairy, cabbage. Okay, recipes. So tell me about your diet. Your diet, Mary. And Miss Congeniality, you want the phone. Okay, you email me. Oh, my email. It's this and that with Denise at Gmail. Yeah, this and that with Denise at Gmail. And then just email me and then I'll just send them right out. And yeah, V, I'm glad you popped on too. Okay, a video on breakfast. So now tell me, what kind of breakfast are you thinking about, Amy? Healthy breakfast, quick and easy breakfast, a series on breakfast, maybe 5 different. How to make breakfast for the hubby and the kids, that kind of thing. Healthy breakfast, okay. Okay, healthy breakfast. I'll try to see what I can do. Oh, country type breakfast. Country breakfast. Okay, my husband loves a country breakfast. You know what, though? You guys are going to laugh at this, but when my kids were little, especially my youngest son and his cousin Akid would spend the night, and I said, we're going to have a country breakfast this morning. And I said, now, a country breakfast is this. I said, in the old days, people didn't have refrigerators like they do now, so they would eat whatever they had left over from the night before for breakfast. So sometimes I would give them unusual things for breakfast and say it was a country breakfast. So when you said country breakfast, I knew you meant bacon, eggs, and grits and that kind of thing. Breakfast in a cup. No, but I will investigate that. Chicken, turkey. I can do chicken and turkey, no fish. I don't eat fish, so I don't cook it. Yeah. So, V, are you going to email me or are you talking to somebody else? Mediterranean diet. That's big right now, too, is a Mediterranean diet because it's so healthy. Oh, Stephanie did a country breakfast for the Christmas breakfast challenge. Oh, I'm sure he did. My husband, now typically, it's kind of funny. My husband fixed breakfast. Oh, okay. So yeah, email me. My husband would fix breakfast when the kids were little. And I found out that one of his brother also fixes breakfast. And one of the daughters was saying that dad always makes pancakes and different things like that. Well, one of the things that I learned was their father, Mr. Jordan, always made breakfast. So they watched their father making breakfast for the family. So that was one of the things that they did. So my husband will make breakfast, particularly if all the kids are home for vacation or holiday or whatever. He'll make breakfast or he'll make them a fish fry for either lunch. So they always expect dad to fry him some fish when he's here for lunch. So Michelle said her dad made breakfast on the weekends. My dad didn't do much cooking. He could, but he didn't do much. My mom mostly did the cooking. But Dad always went to the grocery store and bought the groceries, which I thought was kind of interesting. But my dad was very old school. You guys can tell. I mean, you can tell by how old I am. My family was pretty traditional, pretty old school. So there was a pretty big demarcation as far as gender roles. So my mom mostly took care of us, and she cooked and all that. Now Dad helped take care of us a little, and he would help clean the house, but he didn't cook very often. But he could sweep a floor. Oh, omelets. Oh, I love those. So Mary said her dad made homemade potato chips. Yeah, my husband will make bacon. He likes to make grits, eggs. Now, he's not so big on omelets. I like to do omelets and that kind of thing, but he likes bacon, eggs, toast, grits, scrambled eggs, your traditional stuff. And then his big thing is eat it while it's hot, eat it while it's hot, eat it while it's hot. Come on, food's done, eat it while it's hot. He does not like you to sit down to a table with cold food. When he gets it off that grill or off that stove, he expects you to be ready to sit down and eat it. Anybody else's family funny like that? Now, guys, we're just kind of rambling and chatting because I'm enjoying just kind of engaging with you guys. So I don't normally get to do this, and I'm enjoying it. It's really kind of nice just to not have a mission. Now we've got our stuff talked about, and so now we're just kind of free flowing, I guess, as my son calls it. Yeah. Homemade potato chips, they sound nice. Yeah, he's like that, like hot, hot, hot. So now Biology says she makes taters and then tater skins. So that sounds good, especially like for Super Bowl parties and stuff like that. That'd be fun. All right, ladies. Well, I think it's been fun. I want to thank you guys for jumping on with me tonight. It has been so much fun. It was like, I don't know, usually like when I'm on for like our shout out Sunday shows or the YouTube talk, I've got more of a mission of things that we got to get accomplished and try to get that done. But like for tonight's live, I thought, well, once we got our stuff talked about, and it was mostly, like I said, for us just to kind of engage and just to get to know each other better and just to chat and kind of let you guys direct the conversation. It was fun. It was just fun. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. Yeah, it was fun, Amy. Be sure and check out my little lady that I told you about, Ebony Butterfly. Be sure and check her out. And Mary, it was good to have you with us. And just all of you guys, thank you so much for jumping on and joining me tonight. I really appreciate your support. And if you want the meal planning worksheets and all that stuff, if you want that little bundle of things, just send me an email and I'll send them out. Denise, no, this and that with Denise at Gmail. Yeah, this and that with Denise at Gmail. And my email address is in the description box. Oh, thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. So, Joan, good night. Amy, good night. V, good night. Mary, good night. And Stephanie, good night. Michelle, good night. Miss Congeniality, I forgot that quick what you said your name was, but good night. And Mary, good night. And who else was here with us? Hey, you know what, Amy? I just meant to ask you, you changed your name to Home in Season, but tell me what that's about. Yeah, tell me what that's about. Well, I guess it's time for us to go. You can tell us next time what your Home in Season was all about. See you guys. Good night.